Hope you're ready. It's time for Decentralize Now.
Free the people, free the markets. Decentralize Now.
Season 2.
Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Decentralize Now. What the fuck are we talking about?
Did you know Steve-O has a tattoo of himself having sex with a child on his arm?
What? I knew he had a tattoo of himself on his back.
You want me to send it to you?
Not really, honestly.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. I'm looking at it right now. Unless it was clearly photoshopped, that's some fucked up. I don't even want it on my phone because what if that's... I was about to share it, but I was like, I don't know if I can get flagged for that shit. So I'm actually going to delete that right now.
I don't know that I would have even said I was looking at it.
You wouldn't have said what?
So I don't even know if I personally would have said that I was even looking at it.
Well, it just came up on my Facebook feed. I was scrolling down, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, look at this sick guy. And it's Steve-O with a tattoo about that shit. Speaking of which, I kind of wanted to continue talking about some shit that we talked about last week. Is it okay? Am I wearing this topic out?
I don't think you're wearing it out, man, and I don't think it's a topic that should be let go. I mean, fucking, Epstein didn't motherfucking kill himself. I think everyone fucking needs, knows that, and it needs to be known. And I know people get sick of the fucking memes, the little factual memes.
It's an important
that end
meme.
with fucking Epstein didn't kill himself, but like, I'll keep fucking making them, and I'll keep posting them, and I'll keep sharing them, and because it needs to be known, man. It needs to be known that it's scary when I'm running on and on, not saying much right now. Last week when we talked, I really didn't have much to say, and I don't know that I have a lot more education on the subject this week versus last week. But the little bit of information, that I've found out between then and now, has definitely. I said last week I didn't really believe in Pizzagate, but I'd seen some things that had come out that kind of supported that theory. And I would say between last week and this week, I'm definitely more of a believer that Pizzagate exists. That I still am not completely on board with it. Not so much the child not so much the child pedophilia stuff, but the eating babies and stuff like that. Like, I still don't know if I'm 100% there on that. You know what I mean?
I think that's fine. I mean, it's some really sick shit out there. And there's a guy named Sam Hyde. And he's one of my favorite comedians. He's an amazing comedian. If you haven't watched Sam Hyde's shit,
he's a horrible comedian.
You think he's a horrible comedian, really?
He's funny, but it's not. I mean, you definitely have to be that type of person to get humor out of it. I am. I get it. I think it's funny, but I don't think he's a good comedian. I don't think it's really all. I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it. I don't think it's great. I think his skits are way better than his stand-up are.
Well, I'll give you that, actually. His stand-up, it's with his sense of humor, the audience is the joke. The joke is, I get to go say this borderline National Socialist stuff and force these latte-sipping hippies to listen to it. That's
His-
kind of the joke.
His TED
Like, he
talk.
went
His
to-
TED talk is fucking hysterical.
His TED Talk's incredible.
It's like,
Like,
what
again,
is it
that's
like?
the whole point. The audience is the joke.
Yeah, what is it like? It's maybe 10 minutes, maybe 12 minutes. I mean, it's maybe not quite that long, but it's a good bit of time. It's a good bit of time to be talking, and he talks for so long before the audience finally catches on to what's going on. And once they do, they're actually really receptive of it.
They thought it was great.
Yeah, they're like, "What the fuck is this guy talking about?" But once they realize it's kind of a joke, and they're in on it, you know, I thought it was fucking great. But I still don't think his stand-up is anywhere near as good as his fucking skits and stuff like that. And he had a show on Adult
I will
Swim,
concede that point.
and I didn't realize that was even him on Adult Swim until you kind of pointed it out to me.
Yep, $1 Million Extreme was an incredible show, and Tim and Eric Wareheim and Vic Berger from Adult Swim, they were apparently, there was some other comedian there didn't like him. They were instrumental in canceling his show, and Sam Hyde released a video. It was like 43 minutes long. You can see it on YouTube. It's called Blacklisted. And in it, Sam Hyde, because Sam Hyde, he has connections with the alt-right, you know, and that kind of 4chan, Reddit, troll community. And he says in this, hey, listen, I used to work for Adult Swim. I saw some fucked up shit. And right now, shit's being released about Hollywood. And if shit gets released about stuff that I was close to and I didn't say anything, it's going to be my ass on the line. So here it is. I'm doing this video. I'm saying the shit that I saw. And in this, to kind of protect his own ass.
Can you play that video?
I don't know if you can hear it, but yeah, I can play it for you, no problem.
I would like if you could play that video.
Yeah, let's see. I'll pull it up right now. I mean, it's a long video, but if you want to...
Well, okay, why don't if you I guess you don't know the time list of the key points, but you know, we can if we listen to, you know, a minute or two of it while we get the gist, can you kind of fill us in on the rest?
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's but
I'm pulling up YouTube right now.
Yeah, I'd like to hear a little bit of that.
Because he talks about what it was like to work with Eric Wareheim and Adult Swim.
So anyway, Cartoon Network, I believed is owned by Ted Turner, just like TBS.
That's correct.
And fucking was it he owns TBS? He owns fucking Cartoon Network. He owns Boomerang and Nickelodeon. And does he own Nickelodeon? He may not own Nickelodeon.
I think so.
But he owns a lot of that. Basically,
a lot of shit.
Basically, if you don't know this, and I think a lot of people do, Ted Turner basically a long time ago went around and said, "Oh, what? Look, all these fucking copyrights on these cartoons are fucking running out. Guess I'll buy them for dirt cheap." And then he fucking made like a shit ton of fucking TV stations around it. Like the fucking didn't he own TNT? Didn't he have TNT as well? All those fucking old GoldenEye movies, the old fucking Indiana. I don't remember if they had Indiana Jones on there, but he bought. You know, he had all the old fucking James Bond movies and shit like that, and he just made all these fucking TV companies fucking around it. And fuck, where was I going with this?
Well, he did that. He was a shitty person, and you know what's interesting is that's going to happen with Batman soon. A couple of 10 years, Batman is going to become public domain. So DC is going to lose the rights to those characters. So a lot of these companies, they take the copyright laws. Disney's a prime example of that.
I was about to say Disney. Yep, I was about to. Yep.
Disney's not losing fucking Mickey Mouse. They'll fucking have you assassinated.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Oh my god, can you believe? Oh my god, they have fucking Star Wars now.
They have fucking Star Wars.
They should have there should never have been more than the fucking original 3 Star Wars. They should have stopped after that. We're going to make more Star Wars movies. And I'm not going to lie, I was in like middle school when they came out with episode 1. And I watched it like 2 times in theaters. I went and saw it twice in theaters. I thought that was really cool at the time. I never saw episode 2.
The pod racers.
I never saw episode 2. And I won't see it.
I won't. But there's a good amount of people, you slap that logo on and they'll buy it. And the companies know that.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, they do.
Do you want me to put this Hide War stuff?
Yes.
Or the Sam Hyde?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not just gonna sit here and be like, oh, this none of this happened. Okay. One Adult Swim executive shall remain nameless. Recording adult women taking shit.
A little too loud.
Shocking enough.
Too loud.
What he asked for next.
Too loud.
She's blowing me. And I'm digging in her messy ass.
She's blowing him.
Investigated for child abuse. Every wall covered in images of the two executives giggling, doing coke. There's a lot of satanic shit. I hope he fucking dies. I told him I was going to make this video. I asked him if he wanted to make a comment. He basically told me that he didn't want me doing any stuff. There's no chance corporate would stand for it. I most certainly am not going to co-sign them with my silence if anything breaks out. Fuck these people. It's like a known thing that can't get hard. Girls over 18. How did they get away with that? Maybe after tonight, they won't.
Those stories and more tonight on
Whoa.
60 Minutes.
What the fuck?
Yeah, what's up?
What the fuck, man? See, that's what I'm saying. I just want, like, I sit here and I'm like, I don't believe in heaven and hell. I don't like religion. I don't believe in God and the devil. And then I sit here and I'm like, the fucking government is trying to sacrifice us all to the devil. You know what I mean? The devil worship shit. This devil worship shit, dude. It's fucking creepy. Where does it come from? Where does it come from? Because it's like, it's not biblical. It's older than that. It's not like,
dude. I've got so much I want to say, and I think I can answer that too. Here's what I want to say about Tim and Eric. So Sam Hyde releases this video.
You always tried to get me to watch their show. I want to point that out. You're always like,
dude, I did. I used to be a huge Tim and Eric.
So funny, and I was like, they're pieces of shit and not funny. Look, I was right. Look, 15, 16 years later, they turn up to be Satanists.
Dude. I mean, so Tim and Eric, let me back up. So Sam Hyde releases this video, and he's like, hey, listen, I used to work for these guys, and Eric Wareheim would always show up to these parties, and he's got two really young-looking women. He's like trying to show them off, and then they're doing coke, and they're giggling in like baby voices and all this shit.
Doesn't he look like he looks like a creepy motherfucker? He
looks like a creepy fuck.
Fucking
and also
Tim fucking what's his face? Yeah, he looks like that dude looks creepy as piss. I can tell, like, you saying that and picturing his face, I'm like, I don't fucking doubt it for a second. That dude looks like a fucking pervert.
And they're talking, and I'm thinking about their material because I've listened to this material for a long time. Like, I watched their sketches, I watched them on YouTube. And a lot of it was about, like, dad sex and, like, strangely homosexual
weirdly gay shit. Yes.
Yeah. And then when you hear about this shit, it's like, oh, this is dark. And there's a scene in Tim and Eric's $1 billion movie where Eric Wareheim is having a bath. Like, it's a cleansing bath. And it's called, like, Shrim. And all these children come in the room chanting Shrim, and they start defecating on them. And it's like this long, drawn-out 10-minute scene designed to make it sick. And I remember watching this, and I'm like, I don't want to watch this. Like, I get it. It's supposed to make me feel uncomfortable, and that's a joke, but I don't fucking want to watch this anymore. And the fact that they made money off of that, but that's some sick shit, man. Like, that happened in the movie. It's almost like they're showing it to you and laughing at you.
It's yes. It's fucking straight up pedophilia. It's fucking pedophilia, and they're showing you that, like, we do this shit. That's funny. We do these things. Like, those things fucking happen. Like, you can sit here and say we're crazy. Like, are we gonna fucking go back to fucking Alex Jones? He's been fucking screaming about this shit for so long, and it fucking happened, dude. Like,
You think you've heard it all? You haven't heard shit. Stick around for more Decentralized Now.
About this the other day. I was actually talking about this the other day. I think they show us these types of things. I think that these types of things are made prominent in fucking entertainment and media and things like that. As what was it when we were talking earlier? You were talking about like the grooming. You know, they're grooming us for things.
Yes.
They're preparing us for this. They're trying to normalize. There's been Look at this fucking shit going on now between fucking Epstein and now. They are trying to normalize fucking pedophilia. They've been easing us into it with these little fucking subtle things and TV shows and commercials and stuff like that. But look how hard they're hitting us with it now.
It's insane.
Like you were saying, like the Tim and Eric stuff, you know, where there's like this really weirdly homosexual and satanic kind of stuff to it. Have you seen the Celine Dion fucking commercial yet?
I never watched that. You told me about that, and I didn't watch it.
Oh my god. I'm sending you the link. I'll send it to you on your phone so you don't have to watch it on your computer. But you gotta see this shit, too. It's fucking scary, dude. Like, the fucking babies are wearing onesies that say New Order. Like, New World Order. It's insane. And, like, the little, like... And this comes back to the, like, I'm not religious kind of thing. But there's totally, like, demon stuffed animals. You know what I mean?
Jesus Christ.
That's fucking creepy.
I think that Tim and Eric are involved in this type of Hollywood sick shit. And when you go back and watch their skits, it's a lot darker. Like, I feel dirty for having liked this stupid shit. Like, it's not intelligent comedy. It's mindlessness. There's nothing intelligent, you're right, about anything that they were talking about.
No, it's so fucking creepy. It's creepy, dude. The undertones are fucking creepy. Here's something else that's fucking creepy as piss to me. I'm not a fan of Disney, you know? Like, I can't say that. My fucking daughter, like, fucking loves the shit out of Finding fucking Nemo. Which is Pixar, Disney owns Pixar now. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't like the movie WALL-E when it came out, you know? Fucking whatever year that fucking was. But Disney puts so much suggestive, subliminal messages in their shit. And it's not a fucking... I was telling my wife about this back when we were dating. I said, you know, Disney's notorious about putting, like, the word sex... about killing off at least one of the parents. The parents always die in their fucking movie. You know, I'm telling her about this. You know, and I you know, anyway, she doesn't really believe me. One day we're watching Monsters Inc. 2, the second Monsters movie, and at the time I smoked cigarettes, so I was like, let's go smoke a cigarette outside. I paused the movie as it's fading into like this big conversation. There's like a chandelier made of like deer antlers, and the word sex is written dead center of the fucking chandelier. Like no coincidence. It's not coincidence. It's plain as day. The word fucking sex, like it's connected. And I was like, what is that? What is that? She's like, it's a coincidence. I'm like, it's a coincidence? 3 people stared at this scene for 6 months, fucking programming the hairs on the fucking monsters and shit. You don't think anyone noticed that the word sex is written plain as fucking day in the fucking leer?
Some disgusting shit, man.
I know that was really long-winded, but like, it's true. It's true. They totally put that shit in fucking they're totally programming us. They're programming our children. Like, it's just, isn't it weird too that like all these movies, all these Disney movies, because you got to admit, Disney movies are big. Disney movies are fucking big. Like, those are kids' favorite movies and shit. Frozen and fucking, like, the kids love that shit. So they've obviously figured out some sort of fucking formula to suck children into those fucking programs and stuff, right? It's not a coincidence that they always have, these fucking big killer fucking movies. They have a formula for it. They know what the fuck they're doing, and they always have parents die. Like, what Disney movie doesn't have, one parent die at the beginning of the movie, or both?
No, it's absolutely true. And it's something also like generations ago, there weren't TVs, there weren't radio. With the invention of the radio, now it's like a small group of people can get in every house in America and put ideas in people's heads. And then there was the TV, and now we can put ideas and images, and boom, 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 just pump them in your head. Now with the cell phones and tablets, it's not only just in your home; it's wherever you go. You can constantly pump these images into mind. It's a tremendous amount of control.
It's a scary amount of control, and it's even more scary and disturbing that we give them that control. We know what's going on. We know they're listening to us. We know they're following us around through Google Maps and shit. And we consent to it. We don't care.
Here's an article for you because you mentioned Disney World. Dozens of Disney World workers arrested in child sex stings. This is back in 2014. Almost 36 Disney theme park workers have been arrested for alleged sex crimes since 2006. The 35 busts have been for possession of child porn or trying to meet a minor for sex. So far, 32 of those busted have been convicted, and the other cases are pending. 2 cases of child porn allegedly happened on Disney property.
What kind of crazy things will our heroes talk about next? Stay tuned to find out.
All right, so you asked the question, like, how does this stuff get into entertainment and to music? Like, where did Satanism come into all this shit? I did a lot of research into this guy named Heidecer Crowley. Are you familiar with Heidecer Crowley at all?
No, I've literally never heard that name before.
Heidecer Crowley he's been called the wickedest man in the world. He was in England, and he grew up in a very strict conservative...
Is this the guy that wrote the Book of Satan?
No, that was Anton LaVey.
Okay.
But that's another extremely important person to know how Satanism gets involved in entertainment and media, because Anton LaVey, if I can go down that rabbit trail for a little bit, he started the Church of Satan in San Francisco, and then like 10 or 20 years later, Sammy Davis Jr., a lot of these other famous celebrities, they're all friends. They're all cohorts of Anton LaVey. Anton LaVey actually became quite the influential figure in San Francisco. He was in the movie Rosemary's Baby. Have you ever seen that movie?
I haven't. It's Rosemary's Baby. Is that I feel like I've heard the name, but I don't know I can't say what it is. You there?
Oh yeah, I'm here. Yeah, Rosemary's Baby. It was the premise behind the movie was that Satan had sex with a woman, and again, she didn't realize it. Anyway, it was a very famous movie, but Anton LaVey actually played the role very briefly of Satan in that movie, and this was a major picture. So he had Marilyn Manson. He was a Church of Satan member, and had actually met Anton LaVey. So a lot of really powerful, influential people knew Anton LaVey. But before Anton LaVey, you have to begin with Heidecer Crowley. So I've been doing a lot of research into Heidecer Crowley. There's some sick shit that has connections to entertainment, the media, and some of this Pizzagate shit. So Heidecer Crowley grows up in this extremely strict right-wing conservative Christian group, and he hates it. And basically, in his belief, Christianity or just religions in general, they're designed to enslave people. They're rules to keep people in boxes. But the people at the top of these structures, they don't have any rules. They do whatever they want.
religions are designed to enslave people, which
Yes.
I totally agree. I think it's
Yeah,
pretty
that's
obvious.
what he says. Religions are designed to keep people in boxes and to enslave them. But again, the people at the top of these structures, they have no rules and they do whatever they want. So he breaks away from his religious upbringing and essentially goes out on his own path and just wants to break every rule possible. Like, if it is wicked, he wants to do it. If it is bad, he wants to do it. Anything degenerate, anything nasty. He has no rules. He's a total spiritual anarchist, and a lot of his work was in ritual magic and ceremonial black magic. He tried to join the Freemasons. He joined a group called the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn.
He joined the
and
Freemasons, or he tried to join the Freemasons?
I believe. Well, I'm gonna leave that open ended. I know he attempted to join the Freemasons, but he got into some secret orders of the day. This wasn't just some wacko loon. Like, he made it into the Golden Dawn and a lot of these secret societies, and he eventually got kicked out of them because he wanted more and more and more. One thing that he did was this. He wanted to achieve something called ego death. And ego death, he writes, is the process by which the self is destroyed. You have completely destroyed yourself, and now you have no personality, you have no limits, no boundaries, and no fears. And he started an order called the AA, and he only had 2 disciples. One of them, his last name was like Nurburg or something like that. Anyway, they go to Algeria into the middle of the desert, and they have a whole bunch of stones in the desert in a circle, and he lets his associate, Nurburg, have sex with him, like anally. So Aleister Crowley is in the desert in Algeria in a black magic ritual getting bumped up the ass. And he says that was like spiritual enlightenment for him, that he achieved the ego death and gained like access to magical mysteries. Then he goes back to England, and this guy's fucking on fire mentally. Like, he's crazy. And people will come and pay money to listen to him talk, listen to his lectures, and then people are paying him money for him to engage in these black magic occult rituals. He's making money off of it, and he's serious. Like, Aleister Crowley isn't joking. He believes in this shit. Like you don't go to Algeria and have your associate bump you up the ass in a black magic ritual unless you're at least somewhat serious. So he's doing all this shit, making money, and he becomes Aleister Crowley, the Great Beast, 666, the most wicked man in the world. Ozzy Osbourne wrote that song.
If you're poor and mentally ill, you get thrown in a mental hospital. But if you're rich and mentally ill, you fuck people in the ass in the middle of the desert. The fuck?
I guess so. Now here's the connection.
Who has the money to fly out there and do that? Why would? There's so many questions. Why would? What the fuck?
It's really hard to talk about this stuff because, like, you give a little bit of information and then you're like, well, why would he do that? Like, there's so much to talk about with this guy.
Now that I've brought you to Algeria, I'm gonna need you to go out in the middle of the desert with me. Pull your dick out and fuck me in the ass.
Whoops. So
okay,
that's there are 2 key points that I want to bring to light here.
Yeah, the main key point is, like, why didn't this guy at some point be like, why does this guy want to take me out in the middle of the desert, in the middle of a different country, and have me fuck him in the ass? What the fuck? There's so many questions here. What the fuck? This is some.
The first is that Aleister is talking depraved sexual acts lead to spiritual liberation. Okay, number 1. Number 2, he's performing these rituals for money. People are willing to go talk. Now, there's so much more to talk about Aleister Crowley. That's just the basics. Aleister Crowley did his stuff in the 60s. In the 60s, there was the Cultural Revolution, and people were breaking off social norms and wanted to embrace free love and individualism.
What
And
year
a lot
was-
of people Go ahead.
What year was fucking Jim Jones?
I don't know.
Was that around the same time? Because
I think Jim Jones was in the 70s.
there was a lot. Well, still there was a lot of like cult shit going on around then. There was a lot of religious upbringing, kind of crazy shit happening around that time.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean there's been on Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club that album cover, which I'm sure you're familiar with. Aleister Crowley's face is in that crowd. They put Aleister Crowley's face on this album. Aleister Crowley became an eccentric and influential person in the music scene. He started gaining influence. People started wanting to come to his performances. He gained a lot of influence and talked about all this dark satanic shit to the fucking Beatles. The Beatles. That record was in everyone's house. Everyone had a copy of that. It took over the world. Beatlemania was so fucking huge. And if you remember, the Beatles actually had a controversial record where they had babies and then they were like butchering them up. Have you seen that image?
I have not. Please send that to me right now.
Yeah, I'll fucking do it right now.
I'd also like to say that, like, every time I see a fucking, like, I see these dumbass fucking images on fucking memes on Facebook and shit, where they're like, these people tried to warn us, and they were all murdered. And it'll be like fucking Jim Morrison and fucking Martin Luther King and Malcolm fucking X and some Native American guy I don't fucking know the name of. And then, like, somewhere in there will be John Lennon. And I'm like, what the fuck did John Lennon warn us about? He was an abusive piece of shit motherfucker. The fuck John Lennon was a fucking asshole.
And a lot of, like, he went south when he met our friend. Oh shit, I just sent that to my fucking mom.
What did you just send to your fucking mom?
I just sent my mom a picture of the Beatles with the chopped up babies. Fuck.
This is my favorite podcast we've ever done.
I just sent that shit to my fucking mom.
Are you enjoying the podcast? Just kidding. We know you are, and you're welcome. You're listening to Decentralize Now.
And let me work this train through. So Aleister Crowley, he's doing crazy shit. Aleister Crowley is teaching these two things. Number one, depraved sex acts lead to sexual liberation. Number two, he has all these socialites paying him money to perform rituals. He has large influence into media and into entertainment, including the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and Jimmy Savile. Jimmy Savile was a whole nother rabbit trail. He was a convicted pedophile who had access to an insane asylum, which is its own fucking rabbit trail. Jimmy Savile was terrible. Yeah, it was fucking incredible. They made Jimmy Savile as a radio DJ the head of an insane asylum, and he was busted for running a child sex ring. Fucking terrible. But that's a whole other rabbit trail. So Aleister Crowley creates a religion called Thelema, and Thelema is all of his doctrines put into one form, one thing. And guess who is a priest in Thelema or follows it? A woman named Marina Abramovich. Who's Marina Abramovich? Well, Marina Abramovich is a Croatian performance artist who created the phenomenon known as spirit cooking. Spirit cooking was the shit where you take blood and semen and you write things on the walls and do all sorts of other fucked up shit. And she invited the brother of John Podesta. That was in the Podesta's leaked emails. Hey, I'm looking forward to you coming over to tonight's spirit cooking. So that shit is still going on. It's going on in a new form. So we have evidence of, and this is why I'm making the connection. Again, those two things: depraved sexual acts leads to spiritual liberation. You need to break all norms, break all conventions. Number two, let's have people pay us to do these bizarre rituals. That's what the spirit cooking shit is. That's what Marina Abramovic's all her weird parties that she throws where people are eating people and shit like that. I see that connection. I see the connection of having sex with children potentially being this crazy act that leads to this total liberation. You've finally done it. You've broken every rule. You're now completely liberated, or some sick shit like that. This very satanic shit has made itself into media and entertainment, and it's fucking everywhere. And you can see it everywhere. Jay-Z has a T-shirt with Aleister Crowley's phrase, "Do as thou wilt shall be the whole of the law," and all this weird sick shit. Lady Gaga with Marina Abramovic, and it's all fucking there. So I think there's a real connection between Crowley and then the music scene in his time, Marina Abramovic being Crowley's disciple, and then again, not necessarily that, maybe not the music, but the political scene being connected with her, and also being connected to the child sex shit. Do I sound crazy? Like, let me know.
Well, I mean, it's a I guess maybe it's not that far of a stretch to think, the music industry and the political industry, the political kind of agenda being linked together. Obviously the people they're going to pay money to, the people that are going to go out there and get to say their message, the people that they're gonna write off and tell you are popular, the people they're going to make famous, are the ones that they're going to be able to manipulate and have pushed their agenda and their message. So I don't think you sound crazy at all.
It's terrifying, and I think that I agree. I think that these rules are used to confine us and restrain us, but the people who have power over us don't have these rules and have no problem engaging in whatever kind of behavior they want. I think psychopathy is real, and I think that's why we shouldn't have these systems in power that will give them large amounts of control over your life.